Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Quita. On this video, I am finally doing my pantry redo. Long overdue, guys. So I'm going to show you guys from start to finish how I refreshed this pantry. It made it more functional for my family, made things easier to find, just overall made it over. And I'm really excited to show you. But first, if you're new here, I hope you'll stick around and consider subscribing and also giving me a thumbs up on this video if you enjoy it. So let's jump on into this pantry redo, guys. If you want to see that, make sure to stay tuned. Alright, so these are all of the items that I picked up on Amazon to achieve the look that I wanted for my pantry. The stuff was relatively inexpensive, and most of it is designed for a pantry or some sort of organization system. So as you can see, most everything is clear or see-through. That way I can see all of the food. And so I also picked up a closet-made over-the-door sort of organization system. I'm not sure why I wasn't utilizing the space on the back of my door, guys. So I finally jumped on the bandwagon. I bought this closet-made system that's going to work perfectly in my pantry for some additional storage. So of course I need help, so I had to enlist my amazing husband to assemble this thing for me, and he did that in a pretty quick amount of time, so it's super easy to assemble. So this is how it looks, all assembled and hung on the door. He did actually screw it into the door to make it a little bit more stable. So next up, it is time to clean out that closet, y'all, and it was a doozy. And so I just literally pulled everything out, and I tried to stay a little bit organized in terms of pulling everything out. I tried to put things in zones and areas so that when I got ready to kind of organize things into the bins, they were kind of already organized to a degree in terms of where I put them on the various counters in my kitchen. So that really helped. But it still was not a fun process, of course, because you get to see like all of the messy stuff, all of the stuff that hasn't been cleaned in a while, all of the expired food. It is not a pleasant process, but it's got to be done, right? So that's what you see me doing here, just pulling everything out, and like I said earlier, putting them into various spots on the counter to make it a little bit easier when I get ready to fine-tune the organization systems that I'm going to be using. And when it came to the snacks, I just pulled out a bin that I knew I was going to be using in the closet and just went ahead and put the snacks in there, made it easier. And so I'm just going to finish this process of cleaning it out, and then we'll be able to move on to some of the more fun parts of the process. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe down each of the shelves. My husband did build these shelves for me. They were super easy. They are just literally overlays that go right on top of a wire shelving unit that came with the house. And so we wanted a little bit more of a decorative look, so I just had him make me these overlay shelves that just fit right on top of the existing wire shelves. All right, so we are all cleaned and we are ready to go. And so I removed everything out. As you can see, I cleaned those shelves, I swept the floor. So now I am going to go ahead and remove all of the cans from out of these storage containers I picked up from the dollar store, and then I'm gonna paint them. So I decided instead of purchasing new ones from Amazon, why not just use the existing ones? They actually work out quite perfect because of the design of them. And so I'm just gonna remove all of the cans out of there, and then we'll just add a touch of spray paint just to refresh them, and we'll just reuse them because things can get a little pricey if you just want to buy everything new. And so I decided that this would be the most practical way to do it, and I would save a little bit of money in the process, so everybody wins, right? So I'm just gonna pull those out and take them into my garage, set them on my painter's blanket, and we're gonna spray paint them with the same color, that gray. I think it's called a weathered gray, and I just love gray right now. That's what I'm into, y'all. And so I'm just going to spray maybe 1 or 2 coats of the spray paint on there. That way it'll make them look nice and new once again. All right, so we've got that drying in the garage. So while that is drying, I'm going to go ahead and do a mock setup. Each and every time I do an organization project, I always try to do a mock setup. So I'm just opening all of those containers that I purchased, cleaning them out, of course, and then just assembling them so that I can go ahead and put them all in the pantry, just see how the design looks, tweak it a little bit if needed, and just make sure that I get everything set up the way I want before I actually do everything full out. And so that is, to me, essential part of the process. You want to do a mock setup. That way you can kind of place things where you think they should go, and then you can tweak as needed. So I always do a mock setup. All right, so the mock setup is pretty much done. I know just about where I want everything, so I'm going to go ahead and start filling these containers. Of course, you want to wash them out first. I'm going to go ahead and start filling them with cereal, our favorite cereals, which we tend to just lean towards the same ones every single week. When I purchase cereals, I always tend to get the same ones. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and start filling up those other containers with rice and pasta and all sorts of things. And they are airtight containers, which means that once you load everything in there, once you put the lid on and you pull that little flap back, it's going to seal it. And so that way it can last longer. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill all of those containers up, and then we'll be adding those to the shelves as well. Next up is my more dry ingredients like pasta and things like that can't fit in those containers, or I don't want to separate into containers. I'm going to fill them in this clear bins. I love them. They are super pretty and chic. I, of course, got them on Amazon, like I got everything on Amazon, so I'll make sure to link as many items as I can below. And so I'm just going to load these clear bins up, which I got 3 of them, with various dry ingredients. The next bins I purchased are some stackable bins, which I thought were pretty cool for just things that I wanted to see from the front. And so I went ahead and added some oatmeal, and then my kids and me, we love cup of noodle soups or ramen noodle soups, and also mac and cheese, and just easy items. So I'm going to go ahead and load those containers up with those types of items and turn them towards the front so that I can easily pick them up. So once that is done, we are ready to move on to the new shelving unit that hangs on the door. I think this is probably going to be my favorite because it allows me to see everything all at a glance. And so I'm just going to figure out where I want things and what position I want them on the shelf and just load it up. But again, I can't believe I wasn't doing this before, because it is like a thing, especially when you have a small pantry, which we do. I do think that it is essential to use all the space that you have, and I wasn't doing that. And so that's why things were kind of getting lost in translation, and I wasn't able to find things, and it just was a hot mess inside of that pantry. But I have a feeling that this is going to be just what I needed. So I'm going to go ahead and load up this shelving unit, get it all nice and pretty, and make sure everything is pretty much in the place that I want it. And so now we are done. So as you can see, that is like a world of difference. Can you imagine those items being inside the closet like they were before? Because that's where they were. And so now I can see all of those items where they should be. So next we're going to clean out our 2 tote bins on the bottom. I typically put plates and aluminum foil and bags and things like that. I did used to use one specifically for water, but now that I have my bar cart, I can clean that out and put that water on my bar cart and use these for more of those types of items. And so I'm just going to clean it out, and then I'm going to rinse it out in my sink, and I'm going to load it up with my bags, my aluminum foil, and things like that. All right, so those bins that I spray painted in the garage are done. Did not take that long to dry. It was a pretty quick process. So I'm gonna go ahead and add them back to the pantry. As you can see, they are stackable, which is really, really cool. And so I tried to sort everything out by items. So like I did like tomato sauce, olives, or whatever, I had. I tried to make sure I kept them in the same area. And I love the fact that they're stackable. Again, they came from the dollar store, which means they were only $1. So I grabbed as many as they had at that time, and I just spray painted them, and they work out so perfectly. So next up, I am just going to add the snacks to the kids' bins, and I tried to again organize that as much as I could. So I did it by like healthier snacks, then I did it by like chips, and then I did it by cookies and sweet snacks. So that's what you see me doing here, just adding all of the snacks in these little tote bins, which I think are the perfect size for this pantry. And then I even have space in the back to tuck additional things as needed. All right, y'all, we're done. That's it. Super easy. I mean, it did take a while, of course. It wasn't always pleasant, but y'all, this was long overdue. I did do a pantry redo video on my channel some time ago where I added these shelves. I told you guys they are overlays on top of the metal shelving. So if you want to see that and exactly how we did that, then tune into that video. I'll try to remember to link it above. And so I love the clear bins so that you can see what you're looking for. I love having the cereal in these containers, and some cereal I took out of the bag and some I didn't. I prefer to keep it in the bag and just tuck the bag inside of the bin. And so I typically lean to do that. So that's it, guys. I love everything about this pantry. It's more organized, and you guys won't see it in this video, but later I do add lights that are motion sensors. So that way when we open the pantry, the light comes on and you can see what you're looking for even further. So I'll post that on my Instagram. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, so much so that you'll consider subscribing and also giving me a thumbs up on this video. And you will stop back by my channel for another video, in which case I'll see you then.